Myself Varinder Kumar, I am a science teacher working in Government Middle School Raiya, Ludhiana, Punjab. My school is in rural area. Teaching is an art of imparting and enhancing the knowledge, understanding and the concepts of the people. The achievement of a teacher lies in the fact that how easily the students learn and how much content they understand from their teachers. These days, teachers are leaving no stone unturned to teach their students with the different methods and techniques. My work is based on teaching reflection of light. In this research project, I have compared two methodologies, that is teaching by blackboard method and learning by doing method, which falls under subsection 1 by use of no cost or low cost TLM. For this purpose, I have two groups, divided 8th class students into two groups, that is group 1 and group 2, consisting of 10 students each. The first group was taught by TBBM method and the second group was taught by experimental method, that is learning by doing method. A TLM was provided to the second group. The research was based on the pre-test and the post-test of both the groups. The scores obtained by each student in both the tests were plotted on a double bar graph. Then the percentage increase of marks were measured. After these tests, a qualitative measure regarding the interest and participation of the students were taken and the different pie charts were plotted for both the groups, which indicates the advantages of learning by doing method over the TBBM method. These are the keywords in this: TBBM, traditional blackboard method; LBD, learning by doing method; TLM, I have already told, teaching by learning material. So in my opinion, teaching by activity leaves greater impact on the people than traditional method. So LBD is going to lead the TBBM in terms of scores and interest of the student. This is my hypothesis. Now aims and objectives: to inculcate scientific attitude in the students, to enable them to understand the laws of reflection and to observe the science in nature and correlate their experience in daily life. Now methods and proceedings. Group 1 and group 2 was asked to go through the pre-test, which were based on the simple questions of reflection of light, like how do we see things, how light reflects. These type of simple questions were asked. These are the students of both the groups appearing in pre-test. This is experimental one, and the next one is the control group appearing in the pre-test. Now the marks obtained by both the groups were recorded, and it was made certain that both the groups were well balanced in terms of their scores. Now the control group was taken to the intervention in the classroom and they were told to read the chapter from the textbook, and I draw the diagrams on the blackboard. They were told about the laws of reflection, but drawing the diagrams, the appropriate diagram on board was drawn, and students were told that the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection, and there is no separate reflected ray when the light falls normally to the surface of the plane mirror, because it retraces its path. Then the second group was taken for intervention and they were provided with the TLM. That TLM I want to show, it consisted of a box, simple box, black paper was on it and a D was fixed at the bottom of the box. A plane mirror was fitted on one side of the wall of the box. When we entered the laser beam on the plane mirror, there was clearly the reflected ray visible, and the children could measure the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection with the help of D fitted at the bottom. So students were asked to take as many readings as they want, and they could easily verify that the rays lie in the same plane and the angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. The same TLM we can use it for refraction of light by replacing the plane mirror by a glass slab in between the box. Now after this, a post test of both the groups were taken by asking these questions: what is reflection of light? How will you prove I is equal to R, that is angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection? How we see moon? Like these questions, students were, both the group students, experimental and control group, was given the post test. Now the score of both the tests of both the groups of each student were recorded, and the double bar graph was plotted by taking students on a horizontal axis and their marks on the vertical axis. So this is the double bar graph for group 1 pre-test and post-test. You can clearly see that by TBBM method the percentage increase of their marks were calculated and mean of the percentage increase was calculated as follows. Like first student has increased by 40%, then second by 30. So all of the students percentage increase was summed up and divided by 10. That's how we calculate the mean. So in this TBBM method, percentage increase in terms of their score was 23%. Similarly, double bar graph for the second group was plotted. These are the scores of second group in pre-test and post-test. This is the double bar graph for second group. So you can clearly see that the percentage increase in its mean was calculated in the same manner. We can clearly see that is 38%. So there was a difference of 15% in both the methodologies we have followed. This difference clearly indicates that children learn more from that learning by doing method. After this, a qualitative test of both the groups were taken, in which following multiple choice questions were asked about the interest, enjoyment of the people and understanding of concept of reflection, about the participation of the topic, participation in the topic. So each student was allowed to go through 3 multiple choice answers, that is very much, medium and low. You can clearly see the group 1 and in the group 2 there is considerable increase in the people who are giving answer very much. So we can conclude by this that the second method, the number of students considerably increased and only 1 student out of 10 opted for the answer low. So we can conclude that learning by doing method not only improved the academic performance but also enhances the interest and participation of the students, as well as the understanding also increased. So I prefer that we can relate natural phenomena in scientific manner in their day-to-day life experiences. So in the end, I would like to state that teaching science by using TLM, performing topic related activities, will leave greater impact on the students. These are the references I have taken, and that's all. This was my paper about. Thank you very much.